Okay. So, well, actually, I want to ask you instead, like, what do you think wealth is? Or what do you think in general, like people think wealth is?
Hmm. I think wealth is like rich
Mm-hmm.
and
Whoa. Mm-hmm.
yes,
And also for most people, they
prosperity,
think, yes, prosperity.
money.
Yes. This is
Yes,
one of
yes, rich
the
money.
biggest
Yes,
elements in people's world. They always think it's about money.
yes.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And also freedom. Freedom is also part of wealth. And,
Wow.
yeah,
Mm-hmm,
and in my how I look at wealth is that,
mm-hmm,
the ability, okay, well, actually the
mm-hmm,
acknowledgement of your
mm-hmm.
ability to choose whatever you would like to choose without any doubt.
Wow,
Okay?
that's the freedom that you talking about. The element
Exactly.
of wealth too.
Yes. And it's very interesting because in this world,
Mm-hmm,
okay, most
mm-hmm,
people
mm-hmm,
they're always being stopped by, a lot of reasons, such as, financial reasons. Oh, I don't have enough money. I need
mm-hmm,
a certain amount of time in order to do something, or maybe I need to prepare the money for it. And this is where they have sold
mm-hmm,
themselves, okay? The
mm-hmm,
lie that
mm-hmm,
they cannot do something. And in
mm,
how we look at things, in um, is that we always say that our point of view creates our reality.
mm-hmm,
So if you already
mm-hmm,
have the point of view that you
mm-hmm,
cannot do something, you create
mm-hmm,
that as a reality. So you're creating from the reality of lack rather than the reality of wealth, which is
mm-hmm,
abundance, okay? The
mm-hmm,
freedom, the
mm-hmm,
prosperity, the happiness, the joy, and
mm-hmm,
also the place where you can have the power of choice. And the power of
mm-hmm,
choice does not really require money. It's about the willingness
mm-hmm,
to do something and to choose it
mm-hmm,
and to ask for whatever you
mm-hmm.
require to show up.
Wow.
Yeah,
It's like, wow, there's space when you're talking
exactly.
about that. Because
Exactly.
some of us, we have the point of view, oh, I cannot do this, I cannot do this, and
Yeah,
everything should go
yeah.
to others, what the step. And then sometimes if we follow the step also, we still stuck.
Exactly. And also,
Yes.
they always try to do things based on what
Mm-hmm.
people want them to do. So it's like,
Yes.
a lot of us, especially, as in Asia, we have our
Mm-hmm.
families are a little bit more controlling, okay, than other people.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have families who always tell you that, oh, when you grow up, you should be this. Oh, when you grow up, you need to, do that profession. Or maybe, if you're a
Mm-hmm.
woman, you should get married,
Mm-hmm.
have a family. If you're a man, you should be able to provide your family,
Mm-hmm.
okay? To take care of your
Mm-hmm.
family financially and make sure you are the breadwinner. The breadwinner is someone who, brings some money home. So it's
Mm-hmm.
this is all the stuff that we've been grown up with, and then we've been
Mm-hmm.
feeding, okay? We've been fed with that, and we've been feeding ourselves with those,
Mm-hmm.
points of views. So it's
Mm-hmm.
like the most important thing I would say, in this, it's like
Mm-hmm.
really to ask you how many of
Mm-hmm.
your beliefs, okay, and the values that you value so much, you think that are real, are not
Mm-hmm.
actually
Mm-hmm.
real, and they're not even yours. Because as you introduced me, right? Like you said, I'm a
Yes.
psychologist. I've had, okay, a
Mm-hmm.
lot of clients who have those quote unquote life crisis, or we call it in a more psychological term, we call it the existential crisis, because they
Mm-hmm.
come into a point in their lives and they are wondering, like, okay, why am I doing this? I don't see a purpose. And they've been spending, like, they try to look for the purpose of their lives because they realize that whatever they've been doing are not
Mm-hmm.
what they really want to do. And they, yeah, and they're like, okay, why am I doing this? So they go into
Mm-hmm.
this place of question where they question, okay, am I doing this right? Am I doing this wrong? It's not really about the right and wrong. It's more about, is this in alignment of your best interests? Okay.
Mm.
Is this in alignment of your best interest? Like whether, okay, we have this tool, okay, in Access Consciousness, we have this tool called Light and Heavy, okay, which is, you know, this is about, Access Consciousness is really about tapping into your knowing and really be true to yourself, not to be fooled and swayed and distracted by anyone else, including the world. So it's like you really have to look at whether this is really in alignment of what you truly desire. So this tool called Light and Heavy, we use it, it's very easy. So you ask yourself a question, for example, do I, if for example, you know, you're a man and then, you know, your family, including, you know, you have wives or girlfriends or partners, you're like, oh, you know what, you have to be, you know, willing, no, you have to be able to provide everything, okay? And then you as a man, you're like, why? It's like, okay, then ask yourself, is this true? And if you hear something, when it gives you a sense of lightness, if it gives you a sense of joy, or, you know, if you feel like there's so much space, okay, in your world, that is something that's true for you. But if it's actually very heavy, if it gives you a sense of weight, you feel like, oh my gosh, my shoulders are so heavy, I'm so tired, I'm having a headache, I don't want to hear this, that is probably not true for you, okay? That's the heaviness, that's the lies that you've been trying to function from. So this is very, very crucial, especially, you know, even in our topic, creation of wealth, because wealth, again, really comprises of what makes you joyful, okay? Like happiness and joy is part of your wealth, okay? This is something that no one can ever take away from you.
Okay, when you said that the man should be responsibility to find the money for the family, and then as a woman also we have a projection to the man.
Exactly.
And we cut our ability to in creating money.
Well, in a sense, if you're actually assigning the job of creating money to the men, what you are doing is you are minimalizing, okay, like, you know, minimizing your ability to create money. Because what I've also noticed is that a lot of women, oh my gosh, they're so good at, you know, creating money. They are so creative. They find all these different ways, okay, to earn, you know, little bits and pieces of money, even if they're housewives, okay? And then, but they are so stuck with that job of being a housewife, for example. And then they just think that, okay, because I'm a housewife, then, you know, it's not my job to, you know, create money. But hey, hello, this is the 20th century. What about you can, okay, receive your man's money and also create your own money too?
Yes, exactly.
Really
so,
about, yes. And also it's like the thing, as you said, you know, and a lot of women are actually highly creative, and, you know, I'm not creating any sort of comparison between the genders, but it's like we all, okay, all of us, we have something that we're really good at, but then we never value, we never see the value of it, and then we just never use it, you know, to create what we actually want in lives.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
And like you said that the man when feel heavy, but how he should be function, like you said before. Sorry, go back to the topic.
About her heaviness?
Yes, when the person feel heavy, okay, and then he could choose to create function from joy or function from responsibility.
Yeah.
Is that what you mean?
Well, yes, it's like the possibility, which is the space where you can choose the things that you like. So, for example, okay, one of the things my housewife, okay, friend, I have a friend who is supposed to be a housewife, and then one of her hobbies is what? Well, two of her hobbies. One of them is photography, and the other one is, you know, wine tasting, because she loves to drink different wine. And you know what she's been doing lately? Well, not lately, for the past 2 years, is that she took, you know, different, you know, as she's staying at home, right? So she took some photography courses, and then she does some really beautiful, okay, like photos that are staged with flowers, fruits, flowers, vegetables, you know, over the marble counter with different bottles of wine. I don't know if I can share you guys a picture here. I don't think so, right? Yeah, okay, fine. But you can probably imagine, like, for example, a flower bed. And then you have wines over here, and then with fruits and stuff. Everything that is just so simple and so fresh. And then, my goodness, okay, not only she has tens of thousands of likes, but she also have different people who keeps inviting her to events, because you know how Instagram is actually a platform people can use for commerce, right? Well, there are two ways of doing it. You can actually use it for enjoyment. There's also the business pages. And those people actually invite her, like, you know, for example, the wine companies, they ask her to go to this tasting event and then also do pictures of their wine. So she gets, you know, the wines and the alcohol for free. And then sometimes she's being paid also to go to the place and to cover it, because she has all these followers. So it's like, okay, and please also get that the gifts that you get, okay, that has any value is also part of your creation of money. So it's like, how many of you, okay, for example, if you are on the gift, like receiving side, okay, of gifts, how many of you actually are willing to know and acknowledge that you have actually created and received a lot of money? But because it doesn't come in bills, or it doesn't come in like a bank transfer amount, you just don't want to know it's money. Yeah. So we are so capable of creating all of this, okay? And you have to start to look at things differently. It's like, you know, money doesn't only come in the form of bills and coins, okay, or bank slips, but it comes in different forms, okay? And like, as long as you're willing to receive it, as long as you're open to it, you can have so much more in your life.
Okay, so like example, what you receive form of money is different, not money in your life when you're using all the tools in Access.
Exactly. So exactly. So it's like, if you're willing to be, okay, the question. So what we talk about, because I'm like, if we're going to say, you know, being in question, which is when you're open to all possibilities and you don't have any like fixed position. Like, for example, I don't have to say that I can only, like, if for people who are not really receiving, they're thinking that, oh, I must make some monetary amounts, okay, in order to prove that I'm receiving money. But when you're actually in question and you don't have any point of view, you're like, okay, whatever comes, you know, let it flow into my life, please. Like, let it flow into my life, please. And, you know, including people that you know, you go out and you know, and then you connect with, they can actually also create wealth for you, because you never know, okay, you can never know or define what kind of contribution, what kind of gift this person can be for you and your life.
So that's awesome. So the people also contributing into our life.
Of course.
A wealth of is a part of element wealth, receiving everything.
Well, yes, and also every single person in your life, okay, it's like, you know, please don't go into having any sort of like points of views or emotions towards this person, because all emotions that you have is only going to limit how much you can receive from them. Okay, so it's like every single person, how I look at it is that, you know, they're a different energy that can come and expand my life, okay, that can also bring wealth. Because remember, again, as I said, wealth is not only just money. They can actually bring wealth into your life. So if you look at like, if you look at like, you know, some of you who have kids, okay, and if you really enjoy being with your kids, it's like their energy, having them around you makes you happy. And how is happy not an element of wealth?
Oh, wow. So it's quite a lot. And yeah, it's like everything could contribute if you would like to receiving.
Exactly. Even the chair that you're sitting on, okay, it actually can
Mm-hmm.
contribute to you because it's actually making you comfortable and well,
Mm-hmm.
making you and your butt comfortable. It's like you have to
Yeah.
also show this sense of gratitude. It's like for us, you know, one of the things
Mm-hmm.
that we also don't normally do is to wake up in the morning and then be
Mm-hmm.
grateful. I
Mm-hmm.
viewed a person. Okay, good. Okay, I saw a question. Like, you know,
Mm-hmm.
be grateful for anything and everything. And
Mm-hmm.
then, you know, your question, okay, Selby,
How
right?
about you
Selby.
feel? Yes.
Yes, I would say. So the thing is, you know,
Mm-hmm.
even science tells you that there's no such thing as negative and positive energy. This is a term that is okay that everyone in the world uses all the time to create separation,
Mm-hmm.
or I would say to create a sense to defend how they are right and how they're wrong. Okay, so to
Mm-hmm.
like, you know, create a sense of judgment. So if you
Mm-hmm.
look at, okay, this person who's, you know, quote unquote, giving you negative energy, it's like, is
Mm-hmm.
there some beauty in this person that I
Mm-hmm.
have not been willing to perceive or look at? Even with the kids example, you know, because I said, okay, yeah, if you have a kid, you know,
Mm-hmm.
that can bring you a lot of joy, have you noticed that's money? And most people, they would focus on, oh, if I have a kid, oh my gosh, it's so noisy, I have to feed our kid all the time, I have to like take care of your kid. But it's like, what we forget to look at is, okay, now you're only focusing on the quote unquote negative stuff, the things that you don't like.
Mm-hmm.
But what
Mm-hmm.
if there are also things that work for you? So even like, you know, for myself, I'm actually
Mm-hmm.
very grateful, linking up to what I said earlier. I'm actually very or the most grateful to all the people who
Mm-hmm.
has done not very nice things to me, because in a sense it
Mm-hmm.
contributes to me growing. So for the negative people, you can just, you know, it's very easy. It's like, okay, thank you for being such an asshole or a bitch in my life. Sorry, I don't know if this language is allowed on
Yes.
Instagram. Okay, well, I'm not this is fine, this is okay. So and then it's really about, so it's like, is there something I can learn here to make me stronger or more powerful? Okay, let me see. So if we willing to receive everything that comes to our life, the wealth are already coming. So because we don't know of what kind of contribution that things will make us wealthy in our life. You know what? And a great question, Leela, right? Yes. So
Yes.
it's,
Yes.
the thing is, we can never try to define, please never define what kind of
Mm-hmm.
wealth or what this person can bring, because if you define it, you're just limiting what really is possible that they can bring in. Like, you know, even for, let's say, me and Fenna, okay? Like,
Mm-hmm.
if I actually define her as,
Mm-hmm.
like, you know, just a friend, then I would
Mm-hmm.
actually limit the other things, you know, that she can be
Mm-hmm.
for me. For example, we can create something. We can, you know, create a
Mm-hmm.
webinar series or maybe
Mm-hmm.
telecall series. And
Mm-hmm.
there's so much more, you know? So it's like
Mm-hmm.
whenever we are defining something, even with your partner, okay? Even if you have a partner, if you just keep
Mm-hmm.
defining your partner as, okay, this is just my boyfriend, this is just my husband, this is just my wife, this is just my
Mm-hmm.
girlfriend,
Mm-hmm.
what you are not willing to receive from this person is that everything that doesn't match that label. Okay. And one of
Mm.
my favorite, you know, sayings, okay, is that, you know, again, you know, about the husband, boyfriend, whatever thing. Okay. So if you're going to
Mm-hmm.
see this person as a husband, then it's like you're only
Mm-hmm.
going to receive this person in a very family level. So where's the
Mm.
fun and the loving part that you can have as lovers? Or maybe, you know, what about everything else? Maybe you and him as best friends. So, and also maybe, you know, you can, like, there are so many things that we can actually receive, but because of our definitions and all the different sort of categories that we categorize things
Mm-hmm.
in, it really limits, okay, what we can receive
Mm.
from people.
Okay, so when we categorize, like you said, these things like husband, just husband. So maybe I didn't receive the energy or the contribution of being
Yeah,
this together, something like that. When we divide
exactly.
it, okay.
Exactly.
And
And
a
then
friend
it's,
also, no much
yes,
fun as a friend because your
exactly.
husband, you should
So,
do this.
yeah. And also, you know, even for a lot of women
Mm-hmm.
or men that I've been working with, you know, who say that, oh, I want a
Mm-hmm.
relationship, okay? Well, I'm going to say this in wealth too, because relationship is part of your wealth, okay? If we have really great like relationships, it actually adds to our life. It makes us, you know, more, I don't know if motivated is the right word, but it's like, you know, make us happier. And then we're just, you know, every day we just want to go, oh yeah, I want to create more for not only for me, but for the relationships that I have. So, you know,
Mm-hmm.
for people who are looking, you know, of, oh, you know, they want like, you know, boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, wife, okay? And, you know,
Mm-hmm.
sometimes I ask them, so what about, you know, the people you know around you? For example, this person, that person. And they're like, oh no, it's just a friend. So with the moment you friend zone someone, friend zone is putting them as a friend, you actually don't
Mm-hmm.
want to look at them, okay, as a
Mm.
possible potential relationship, like person that you can build a greater, okay, meaning going beyond
Yes.
friendship, yeah, a
Mm-hmm.
greater relationship with. Thank
Mm. Okay. Wow, that's very awesome.
Yeah, because it's like
Okay.
the how many people have we friend zoned? Like friend zone is
Uh-huh.
again that categorized as friends.
Yes.
How many people have we friend
Mm-hmm.
zoned that actually eliminates the possibilities that we can have with those people?
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. So Selfie asks the question many times. I
Yeah.
get feel will be rejected, and I do many times to change that thinking, so I can do the clearing.
Right, wrong, good, and bad, pom pom on insurance voice. Yes,
Uh,
you
yeah.
can. And it's really, you know, rather than, you know, feel being rejected, just ask the question even like, is it you who are actually being rejected? Or is this like,
Mm-hmm.
you know, bringing up something? So what is, okay, what is the relationship that you always have? Like, you know, even with your parents, okay? Because a lot,
Mm-hmm.
like, there are people that I work with when
Mm-hmm.
they have really critical parents, okay? Like people, like parents
Mm-hmm.
who criticize a lot, who always tell you that you're not good enough or you need to work harder, okay? Or maybe,
Mm-hmm.
oh, yeah, you know, I don't like this, whatever you do is not good enough. They always have this sense of rejection that is going on in
Mm-hmm.
the world that they feel, and they kind of project it and carry it on,
Mm-hmm.
okay,
Mm-hmm.
with other people. So rather than going out and
Mm-hmm.
really having or creating a relationship with other people, the first thing that comes when they try to form a relationship with others is the automatic sense of being rejected. Because
Mm-hmm.
this is like, you know, I don't know if that makes sense, but it's like, you know, in the primary, or we call it the family of origins, okay? We do this,
Mm-hmm.
okay, if you're always the one who's being rejected, and then the first thing
Mm-hmm.
that you feel when you want to have some closer or, you know, deeper relationship with people is like the automatic feeling of being rejected. So ask this, is this really what's going on right here? Or am I bringing something from the past, okay, and
Mm-hmm.
putting it and applying it to whatever I'm having now? So, and then if you want, you can do that clearing. We're just not going to do the clearing at the moment because, you know,
Yes.
this is
Yes.
more like a
Yes.
general thing. And I just
Yes.
want to, you know, like introduce more concepts. Yeah.
Yes. Okay, that's cool. That's open about wealth little.
Yeah. And just also even know that,
And
yes, go
uh,
ahead.
and I think you have a lot of topic that you wanted to talk about wealth.
I do. And also
Yes.
just know that, you know, even with wealth, okay, like we talk about, you know,
Mhm.
the today's topic is creation and
Mhm.
expansion of wealth. It's like when you are willing to know that, you know, you have the ability to choose anything, including your relationships.
What makes you feel rejecting as a human?
Yeah, I saw that. Okay, remind me a little bit in a bit. Uh,
Uh-huh.
lost the thought. Okay, so I was just saying that if okay, I can't remember
The
what I was
element,
gonna say, so it's like
the element
yeah,
of wealth in the yes.
called me. Okay. Okay, now I keep being interrupted. Okay. So I was just saying that, you know, when you start to acknowledge that you are not, okay,
Mhm.
Okay, this person keeps calling, sorry. When you are not in lack, okay? If you are not in lack, and if you are,
Mm-hmm.
you know, if you're not in lack and you have the ability to choose everything, okay,
Mm-hmm.
then it takes you out of the place where you think you're not good enough to choose and you don't have enough power to choose. And then that's the start of you acknowledging that you have wealth, okay? Like you are wealthy, okay? Wealthy is not about the amount of money you have in your bank. It's not about, you know, the number of assets that you have, okay?
Mm-hmm.
It's not about trying to compare, okay,
Mm-hmm.
or trying to compare how well you're doing, you know, with your friends or with your family. It's really about
Mm-hmm.
you having no sense of lack, and you know that you can choose anything and you have the action and the power to make that happen, okay? That's the
Mm-hmm.
basis of it. And then now through continuous, okay, like
Mm-hmm.
questions and like really searching for the possibilities, because
Mm-hmm.
another thing that I want to talk about too, about expansion, is that when you sense there's a possibility, when you sense that, oh, this is okay, and then what we call, we know in layman's term or in normal English, we call it, you know, act on it, okay? So you have to really act on it, as in you grasp the opportunity and then you keep working it and keep making that happen.
Mm-hmm.
It's like we have, you
Mm-hmm.
know, I have this friend, okay, who
Mm-hmm.
is a salesperson, and you know, sometimes I just have to roll my eyes, okay, roll my eyes, okay, because it's
Uh-huh.
like she keeps being referred, like there are so many clients that she got referred to, and it's like, "Oh,
Mm-hmm.
I don't really care, well, it's too much work, I don't want to follow up." I'm like, and then at the same time, she's also complaining that I don't have enough invoices. I'm not meeting my sales quota, or I'm not
Mm-hmm.
making enough money. And then I'm like, oh my God, okay. It's like you
Mm-hmm.
are, the opportunities are being, you know, given to you, presented to you, and then you're just not
Mm-hmm.
taking it, okay? So that is not anyone's problem. It's you're not willing to act on, and you're not willing to choose the
Mm-hmm.
possibilities that are shown to you. So you have to do
Mm-hmm.
whatever it takes, okay, to
Mm-hmm.
get to wherever you want to get to, okay? It doesn't matter how high or how low your target is. You have
Mm-hmm.
to be willing to do whatever it takes.
Wow, that's cool.
Have you ever met someone like this and then it just kind of pisses you off? You're like,
Yes.
okay, like no idea,
Yes.
but all
Or
right.
sometimes they decided like, oh, my job just these things.
Yeah,
I don't want to receive the others one because
yes,
if I receive the other job, it will
yeah,
be distract me. There is a possibility coming into their life, and then they, yes. So
yeah,
how if we know which one is contributing or not? Because there is many possibilities sometimes
yeah.
come to us, and when
Yeah, when you're having too many possibilities at the moment,
yes,
you know, at the same
uh-huh.
time, you're like, okay, then it's really about prioritizing. Prioritizing is not about
Mm,
thinking which one is more important. It's more
mm-hmm.
like about really getting which one gives you the highest sense of lightness and joy, okay? It's like the light
Okay.
and heavy thing that I just talked. I am so sorry. I don't know why everyone decided to call me
Yeah, it's okay.
just,
Yeah.
okay? And it's like there are a bunch of like
You're the
messages
spot.
that
You're
keeps
the
flying
spot
in. I'm like,
now.
oh, I know why, because I think one of them is my secretary who's trying to tell me that I need to remind me of the meeting. But anyway, so it's like you have all these different possibilities, right? And then you're gonna go with
Mm-hmm.
whichever one gives you the highest sense
Mm-hmm.
of joy and lightness. So it's like what we said earlier about the light and heavy. So it's like if you
Yes.
hear, okay, option A, you're like, oh, okay, whatever. B is like, okay, quite
Mm-hmm.
good. C is wow, and then D is like, nah. Then go with the C, the wow, okay, I'm so happy with this. Because this one gives you the lightest, the highest sense of joy, and then you're just naturally very enthusiastic about it. And then you just
Mm-hmm.
choose from that. It's like whichever one. I am very sorry. Okay. It's like
Mm-hmm.
because you can't do this on, I don't know how to do this on computer, sorry. So it's like, so you have to
Mm-hmm.
do that, and then maybe you go with and then the next one you're going to do it is the lesser one, and then sometimes you're wondering, okay, what about the D, you know, option D that I don't like. It's like
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
sometimes, you know, the Okay, stop messaging me. Okay, and sometimes the energy of that heaviness actually changes as well. Do you know what I mean? It's like when you give us some time, when you don't do anything about it, the reason why a lot of times, you know, things give us a sense of resistance and heaviness is because we think we need to do something, okay, about this. It's like we're reacting and we're in reaction towards something. It's like if you have, like, for example, you know, if you have a really annoying person next to you and then you just go into your head, oh my gosh, this person is so annoying, you are actually reacting to this person and you're like, everything they're saying I don't want to hear. But if you just, you're in allowance of it, meaning you're like, okay, this person is annoying and it doesn't really affect me, you let it be, and then sooner or later that annoying person is like it ceases to annoy you, or like the level of annoyingness that you sense is going to become less. Yeah. So highest sense of joy and lightness, how to know it for sure. Okay. Sometimes I confuse to find an answer. Well, it's just a sense. It's like, it's a, you know, you don't have to know it for sure, but it's like the moment when you hear it or when you look at it or when you're considering it, it just like, yeah, it gives you a ting, okay? A tingling sense of joy. It's just naturally you're so enthusiastic and you're like, yeah, I would like to do it. That's the sense of joy and lightness, okay? That is presented in your world. And just go from there, because while, you know, most of us, we always think that we need to deal with the most difficult task first. But no, we're actually introducing you a different way of functioning or a different way of thinking. It's like, rather than doing the things that you think is going to be the most difficult, that requires the most time, why don't you do something that's easiest for you? Because when you're doing, like, you know, with time, things change, okay? Like the thing that is going to be very annoying or very tedious, sometimes the whole thing changes and it becomes less annoying and less tedious.
Okay. Thank you so much, Kayla. I think that you have a meeting soon.
Yeah,
you would like to go
I can
to
talk
the
for another
office.
3 minutes, I think. Yeah, 4
Oh,
minutes.
okay, sure.
Okay.
Yes. So what the last you would like to say to the people, or
well, it's too short.
Before you
We
go to the
actually,
office.
I have people waiting for me. Well, it's too short today. Why don't we continue next time? I'm not even like remotely done, and then
yes, I know you have a lot of things. You're brilliant, so that's why I said you will give us a lot of things. It's just a little one now. But 30 minutes, yes, about 30 minutes, I got a lot. Actually the first one about wealth that we can receive from everyone and everything. That's very cool. When you say that, wow, it's like I can also receiving from the molecule in this universe too.
Yeah. And also making, like, you know, like, for example, at our company, okay, there is this person, there's this director. I mean, she's one of the directors, but now we're putting her in an advisor role, but everyone really has problems with her. And I'm looking at her like, she is here. So what kind of gift can she be to not only me, but also to everyone? And even, okay, so at the end, it's more like we acknowledge that she really doesn't get along with anyone. So we put her, like, you know, as an advisor, so she doesn't have to come to the office. But the work that she does, okay, it's like, maybe her energy is just not compatible with people, and that's what some people call it negative energy. As again, I don't ever define something as negative or positive. It's just something that gets along with people or not. Okay, so it doesn't really get along with people, then easy, I'm gonna put her to work at home, and it works really well, and then it's like, you know, you have to look at how to change things rather than reacting to something and thinking it's not changeable. All right, so the last piece of advice I'm going to have today, or suggestion, is more like, you know, always look at things, okay, or ask the question when things seems really annoying or really solid, or it seems like unchangeable. Always ask the question, what can I change here that would make everything easy right away? Okay, it's not about an answer. It's like, you know, when you ask a question, you give it some time and you don't have the point of view that you need an answer. You know, maybe after, if you have to ask the question like right now, maybe at night before you go to bed, or maybe when you're showering, you're something thinking. I'm like, okay, maybe I can actually do this, do that. Okay. All right. So remember to ask, okay, what else, what can I change here that will make everything easy? Okay. For everyone. All right. And then I have to go. And then we'll talk later, okay? We'll schedule another time.
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
Bye.
Thank you so much. Bye. Thank you semua teman.